So I'm here with the MotorX KTM team's Jarrod Bewley, who's just wrapped up the E3 Championship at the AORC. Your second E3. Last one was in 07, mate. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
So tell us about yesterday. It was obviously a long weekend, pretty tough race to go out. You didn't have a whole lot of pressure. What was your focus on elevating yourself up the outright ranks?
Yeah, you know, before the event I've been training pretty hard and, you know, putting in the big effort to come out swinging at the last two rounds, and yeah, didn't get a bad start yesterday. It was sort of, you know, within the top 5 of the guys, and yeah, the conditions were pretty tough out there and struggled to get a lot of traction in that first sort of lap to try and stay with the top guys, the front runners, and felt like I just ran the same pace, you know, the whole time. So, you know, rode decent, and you know, put in an effort for the 2 hours that we had to ride, and yeah, I knew all I had to do was get second in class both days to win the championship. I would have liked to have been up in the outrights a bit more for the overall, but you know, fourth overall isn't too bad, and just come out stronger next year.
I think we spoke earlier in the year, and you said it took you a little longer to adapt to the two-stroke this year. I think that was a bullet-diller, but you still finished on the podium there. You've had a consistent year, but it almost looks like it hasn't maybe come as easily in a whole mix of different terrains on that two-stroke for you. Yeah,
for sure. You know, I opted for the two-stroke at the start of the year just because of the 530 being a bigger and heavier bike, and we hadn't had the new 500 out yet, so. Yeah, I went for that, and because I had a good run in 07 on the two-stroke, and so I thought, you know, it would be a good bike. You know, the bike was faultless all year. You know, I have no complaints about the bike. It's just the terrains and tracks aren't suited for the two bangers, you know, as much anymore. So, you know, South Australia was a good, you know, I was starting to get back up there just because of the sand, and I could actually push into the track. You know, when you don't have much to push off, the two-stroke is a lot harder. But, you know, I did what I could all year and just tried to stay consistent, and yeah, just looked for that class win, and I got it. So yeah, I'm pretty happy.
Were you a little disappointed? I mean, you finished second and third outright in the series before. You know, you've been up there now for sort of 4 or 5 years. Were you a little disappointed not to have a crack at be a real title contender for the outright win this year? Yeah,
definitely. You know, I always try and strive for that, and I have been a title contender in the previous years, you know, winning outrights and that, and not to get an outright for the last 2 years, you know, it's sort of a bit of a bummer, but, you know, I'm just going to come out next year stronger and hungrier for it, yeah. I don't have a target on me for next year, so I'll just come out strong as I ever have been, and yeah, give it all.
Let's talk a bit about next year. You've well, let's see, you've won the E3 class twice now. You've won the E1 class last year. You've won the 4-day 2 years ago on the E2 bike. But so I guess the missing piece of the puzzle is winning the AORC on the E2. Geez, that's an alphabet and a half, isn't it? But on a 450, coming out and winning the off-road. You know, is that something sort of unfinished business you'd like to deal with? Yeah,
for sure. You know, I'd love to ride an E2 bike and be in that premier class and be out there trying to go for the outright. You know, KTM have got a great 250 and now the 500, so you know, depending on how the team works, you know, if we still have Pricey there, then he'll be on the E2 bike, and then it'll be a matter of me and Grabbo going out and testing the 250 and the 500 and seeing which one of us is quicker on what, and going from there. You know, both of us aren't too fussed on what we ride. We just want to be able to ride something that we know we can win on, and yeah, so that'll be a big thing for next year. That would just be a lot of off-season testing and just trying to get the pace up. And, you know, if I go back to a 250, you know, I have no doubts that I can run outright on a 250. I feel they're a very, very competitive bike, and as we can see from Stefan, you know, and from me last year, I felt that I could have run outright times, but I had a wrist injury sort of that plagued me for the whole year, and but yeah, so just next year I'll be coming out stronger and fitter than ever.
You're talking about next year as if it's a foregone conclusion. You're going to be with the KTM team, whereas we had a quiet drink after proceedings yesterday, one of the most cyclonic days in the history of the AORC, and you said you're yet to sign, but the intention is, you know, you'd like to be with the KTM again this coming year?
Yeah, you know, I haven't had any bad vibes from KTM to say that I'm not on a team, so I've put in a big effort this year with Fink and Hatter and all that sort of stuff. So, and still winning the E3 class. So I'd hope I'd still be on the team, and yeah. So it'd just be a matter of now talking to Brad and the KDM and working out something for next year for sure.
Well, listen, mate, all the best. Hope all the pieces fall in place for you, and good to see you out there with another title this year.
Yeah, thank you.